What's up, guys? Swift here, covering everything NFL draft related as the Chicago Bears are on the clock and control the keys to this year's upcoming NFL draft. Luke Getsy just finished coaching his second Senior Bowl practice for the American team. Today's practice had more energy, more downfield passing, and tons of great battles inside the trenches. They had Luke Getsy mic'd up today, and there were actually two different broadcasts of today's practice. I had to watch both to see everything that went on, and got to hear some great moments of Luke Getsy coaching guys up. Let's get right into the breakdown of Senior Bowl Day 2 practice for the American team. At quarterback, Max Duggan played well and got the ball moving. He took more shots downfield than the other guys. He just missed a deep touchdown pass to Andre Yoshivas. At running back, two guys stood out to me. Kenny McIntosh looks really good. He has some nice burst and wiggle in the open field. He's just fun to watch. And then same for Tyjae Spears. He showed elite burst to cut back and take off down the field. If you like Tony Pollard, you will like Spears. He's been the best running back at the Senior Bowl through 2 days. And then on to wide receiver, I already mentioned Andre Yoshivas. He had the first catch of the day. He's dangerous on deep routes. He takes the top off the defense, and he had another good day today. Another guy I've had my eye on, Jonathan Mingo, stacked another good practice. Quarterbacks keep missing him on a few routes, and he hasn't showcased any deep speed yet, which is my biggest question mark with Mingo going forward. But he's physical, he runs good routes, and he has great hands. Rashee Rice is another guy I've been watching. He's a polished route runner. He has awesome hands, but he hasn't really got a chance to showcase any home run speed. This could cause him to slide on the draft day, depending on how he runs his 40. Rice did take a reverse and burst upfield later in practice. He looked faster on the reverse than he did running routes. I have to see more of Rashee Rice. Tank Dell's been the best wide receiver in practice so far. He looks like a quarterback's best friend. He works hard to come back towards the quarterback. He goes up and attacks the catch point, which is even more impressive considering his lack of height. He had one of the best plays of the day, killing his corner on a post route for a deep touchdown pass from Max Duggan late in team drills, and then he made a sweet back shoulder catch a couple plays later. Reggie Wayne's nephew, Jalen Wayne, had a couple of great catches today on his home turf, and Xavier Hutchinson still looks really good. He's a big target and made some plays over the middle of the field today. At tight end, Luke Musgrave has been on another level. He's clearly the best pass-catching tight end down in Mobile. He had one of the best deep catches of the day, getting separation downfield and showing great hands. He was a reliable target for all three quarterbacks. And then we get to the offensive line. John Michael Schmitz just continues looking like the best center in the draft. He pancaked Zach Pickens, and he had some great battles today. He continued looking dominant at times. I don't want to start any rumors, but I saw Luke Getsy watching Michael Schmitz multiple times today and even talking to him after a rep once. Moving on to Tennessee tackle Darnell Wright, he continued his dominance down in Mobile. He's a guy that locked down Will Anderson one-on-one, and his draft stock just keeps going up. He was the best tackle on the field for either team today with DeJuan Jones out. If he keeps playing like this, he could end up being a first-rounder as well. Next up is TCU guard/center Steve Avila. He took reps at both positions today. He's stout, powerful, he uses good technique, and he constantly held his ground through 2 days of practice so far. And then a guy I haven't talked about on the offensive line yet, Nick Broker from Ole Miss. He looked really good at guard today. He lost a couple of reps, but that defensive line talent is awesome, and he looked good for the most part. And then on to the defense. Will McDonald is going to fly up draft boards if he keeps this up. He's been virtually unblockable and the only guy able to get past Darnell Wright. He's shown an awesome repertoire of pass rush moves, and his spin move is elite. I would say after 2 days, Will McDonald is easily the MVP of Senior Bowl practices. LSU edge rusher Ali Gay flashed a lot of quickness and great hand usage today. He had a lot of success swiping linemen's hands away and then finishing. Next up is Derek Hall, who showcased his speed yesterday. In a special teams drill, he hit over 19 miles per hour. He's got a lot of length, he's really explosive, and he has that athleticism you look for and the power. I like Derek Hall. Watch out for this guy. Both Byron Youngs impressed me today. That's right, we got a Byron Young from Alabama and a Byron Young from Tennessee. Both of these guys were making work hard on the offensive linemen. And then we get to defensive tackle Zach Pickens. He lost a couple of reps today, but he fought back and he continued showing pass rush acumen. He's quick and violent. Whatever team ends up getting Zach Pickens, they're really going to like him. And then to a lesser extent, Dylan Horton and Jalen Redmond showed some potential today as well. There's just so much talent on this defensive line. I actually did see a couple of linebackers I really liked on the American team today. Aubrey Miller from Jackson State. He stood out. He looked really good. He had the hardest hit of the day, knocked the guy's helmet off, and showed sideline to sideline range. Isaiah Land, meanwhile, made some plays as well. He's very fast. Also, TCU linebacker D. Winters. He caught my eye a bit as well. At cornerback, Darius Rush, again, from South Carolina, played really well. His makeup speed and acceleration is noticeable, and he's constantly making plays on the ball. Miami corner Tyreek Stevenson also had a really good day. He's physical, and he was blanketing receivers all day long. Safety Jamie Robinson, a guy I liked coming into this process, he looked really good today as well. He's fluid in coverage, and he has the speed that I wanted to see from him. There was more energy and downfield passing in Getsy's American team practice today. The highlight of the day was the battles in the trenches again. There was a lot of talent on both the offensive line and defensive lines down in Mobile. I'd say through 2 days, the defensive line is winning, but there have been plenty of standouts on the offensive line as well. Tomorrow we have our last day of Senior Bowl practice, and the East-West Shrine game is tomorrow night on NFL Network. I want to talk for a minute about the best news for the Bears I've seen through 2 days of practice. The best news, in my opinion, is how great these centers look. I've seen at least a handful of guys who could come in and lock down that starting center job day one and be an instant upgrade over Musty. I believe stabilizing the center position is key to fixing our offensive line, and this year's draft has a number of guys who could get the job done. The other great news is how special this defensive line group is. Mostly at edge rusher, but there's plenty of talent on the interior of the defensive line as well. Will McDonald and Keon White have been the top two, but there are at least 10 players on the defensive line that could be gone by the end of round 2. In my opinion, the defensive line is easily the deepest position in this draft class. The guys down in Mobile are only further driving that point home. The final point I want to make is about the receiver class. While there's not a Jamar Chase in this draft, and there's a chance that no wideout goes in the first 15 picks, this is still a good receiving group. We were a bit spoiled by the talent the last 3 years, but this year's class lacks the top-end talent, but it makes up for it with plenty of depth. Plenty of guys that will get drafted between rounds 2 and 5 will end up starting or producing in this league. So even if Ryan Poles cannot land a bona fide number 1 target, adding another dynamic weapon to pair with Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, and Cole Kmet will only make this offense better. Shout out to everyone who's a subscriber to this channel. I never imagined growth like this. We've officially hit 10,000 subs in less than a year. Wouldn't be possible without you guys who watch all of my videos. Hit the like button, you share them with your friends. I couldn't be more grateful to you guys. Seriously, best Bear fans in the world, and some other great football fans. Shout out to the guys who watch the videos who aren't even Bear fans. Nothing but love to everyone. I'm going to watch the American practice one more time tonight just to check out a couple of guys I didn't have in my notes. Stay tuned. I have so much more coming. Remember Remember to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.